My wife said, "Your manhood is toxic," so I turned into the evolved man she wanted and let. I never thought a single family barbecue could shatter everything I believed about my marriage. But the moment my wife tapped her glass, my entire world shifted, and I couldn't stop what was coming next. The air that Saturday afternoon in May was thick with the smell of charcoal and the promise of summer, a comforting blanket of normalcy in my parents' backyard. I was holding a plate of ribs I'd spent 3 hours perfecting, surrounded by people I loved. The irony of that feeling still hits me like a freight train. See, for 32 years, I genuinely thought I was doing everything right as a husband to Chloe. My dad, David, taught me that being a man meant showing up, providing, protecting, and never complaining. My mom, Susan, showed me that real love wasn't just words, it was sacrifice. I took it to heart. I changed the oil in both our cars without being asked. I fixed the garbage disposal at 2 a.m. when it started its grinding protest. I carried every single heavy grocery bag because Chloe had a bad back from an old car accident. I worked 50-hour weeks as a project manager so she could pursue her passion for graphic design without financial pressure. I believed Chloe appreciated all of it. She married me, right? She smiled when I fixed things. She thanked me when I handled the finances. She never, not once, complained about how I approached our marriage. That Saturday started like any other. Dad was intense at the grill. Mom set out her famous potato salad. Chloe's sister, Jessica, arrived from Denver with her new boyfriend, who seemed nice, but couldn't peel his eyes off his phone. The backyard smelled like home. Chloe seemed relaxed, laughing with Jessica, sipping wine in the late afternoon sun. I remember looking at her in her yellow sundress, thinking how lucky I was. Then dinner started. About 20 minutes in, just after Dad told his story about getting locked in the shed, Chloe stood up. She tapped her wine glass, just like at weddings, and everyone went quiet. I thought, okay, what's the big announcement? Pregnant? Big client? Instead, she cleared her throat. Her voice had this rehearsed quality, like she'd practiced it 100 times in front of a mirror. My stomach dropped before she even spoke. She said she needed to share something important with everyone who mattered most. "I've been doing a lot of reading lately about relationship dynamics and gender roles," she announced, "and I've come to realize something really important about our marriage." The forced enthusiasm in her voice was my first warning. She kept going. She'd been reflecting, she said, on how traditional masculinity showed up in our relationship, and how much of what we considered normal was actually rooted in patriarchal structures that limited both of us. My dad's face went blank, that look he gets when something just doesn't compute. My mom stopped chewing mid-bite. Jessica's boyfriend suddenly found his coleslaw fascinating. Then it came. "Liam embodies a lot of toxic masculine traits," Chloe declared, "and I think it's time we acknowledge that so he can evolve into a more emotionally available and progressive partner." The word toxic hung in the air, heavy like smoke. She listed examples. I insisted on driving on long trips, which she said denied her agency. I handled finances, which infantilized her. I fixed things without asking if she wanted to learn, robbing her of growth opportunities. I made decisions about home security without consulting her, which she labeled controlling behavior. Every single thing I thought made me a good husband was now evidence of my problematic nature. I heard Mom's sharp intake of breath, bottom left of screen, click full story.